And hello, and welcome to the garden on a midday visit. Midday, yes, indeed. This is actually a bit of a rarity. Coming out here for a Tuesday visit rather than after work, instead during my lunch break, a quick brisk walk over here and just sort of seeing what's up. Basically, tonight was going to be off of it because Suzanne had something else coming up and no one else being available. I thought I might as well just go ahead and take care of this now while I'm thinking about it. Also because the weather is starting to turn warm, but a brief update. Last week was very much the week of rain, so no need to worry about watering. In fact, no real need to worry about watering much right now. You can sort of see from the ground around that even with the weather starting to turn warmer, it's still fairly wet on the ground here, so I wasn't too worried, but a little spritz can't hurt. Definitely is supposed to get warmer later in the week, though. So we'll be back out here on Friday, and we'll give things a proper sort of trim and all the rest of it, and just other stuff too, since I'll actually need to be heading back here pretty soon if I want to catch some actual lunch and then take it from there. But just to give a quick update into where things stand. So as you can see, the roses are very much starting to get in full flight here. We've got both the main bush over here and then the other bush over here at the end, the two anchor ones, just going nuts, as you can see, not merely going nuts, but some of the actual blossoms not doing as well as they could, unfortunately. We've been doing a little trimming there, but some of the ones just aren't as healthy as they should be. A pity, but the newer ones coming along should be fine. This one seems to be doing very fine indeed. This one suffered a bit, as you can see, on some of the rust and all that on some of the leaves right there, unfortunately, but other ones are starting to come in fresh and new, so it's sort of a combination of what was there and what's new, so blessing right there. And then we also have this, getting the shadow there, this marvelous one right here in the center, doing fine. Society garlic seems to be just sort of kicking along. We are getting some initial blossoms right there. We'll be seeing some more as we go, so we'll take it from there. Otherwise, we'll let the roses sort of keep at it. Similarly, the artichokes are just keeping on. The main one is just starting to really start to explode a bit more. It's going to get probably even more outrageous here very shortly, so who knows, have to keep an eye on that. Two smaller ones, of course, were sort of afflicted by the little pest that had visited us, but they seem to be starting to bounce back a bit, and actually only having one be completely crazy will probably be a good thing, because this thing will start overarching a heck of a lot of the area here, so we'll just have to watch out. Quick tour over here, the other smaller bush and garlic that we have over here, just doing along. We'll see how they come along here. Now, as for the new crops, things are really starting to kick in. In fact, you can probably sort of see some of the main one right there, but let's start with the first initial success story. That's the radishes, sort of shadowed, but as you can see, a lot of them sort of coming along. Some smaller than others, some more bit by bugs and things here and there than others, unfortunately, but looks like we'll be getting a few things here. A little unclear we're getting with the cucumbers over here. We have at least one sort of in the center there, not really easy to see, sort of in shadow, starting to sprout up, and a bit of clover. Otherwise, nothing really as yet, but early days yet. The carrots are just starting to poke through. We'll keep the cages on for a bit, but you can sort of see maybe down there a couple of green sprigs here and there's a couple over there too, again sort of hidden under the cages, so not really the best view, but they are starting to come along. The rosemary is at least maintaining. It doesn't seem to have died or anything. The green sprigs on them still the green sprigs. It's a question of new growth, however, and that is unclear. If you want an idea what new growth looks like, well, you can sort of see across the way some of our neighbors over there. Now that's rosemary growth, so that's good stuff. Here, not so much. A little bit of a close-up seems to indicate some new growth here and there, so still early days yet. Excuse me, but we'll see where that goes. The sorrel, as yet, is not surfacing here, so that may take a little longer. We'll see about that. Tomatoes are starting to poke through. You can sort of see down in the center, or near the center of each of those, we have just a tiny bit of growth, pretty much in all sections. This one apparently not yet, so cross our fingers on that, but something has started. The tulips are continuing along, some bigger than others, but other ones coming through, and again, they've got some pretty wet. We'll see. Now over here with the flowers, not too sure. It doesn't look like much of anything has happening. Some random grass here and there, but frankly I'm not too sure about that. These ones were laid on the top more than anything else, so it may take a while. Having said that, I noticed there's that one right there. Again, we may be looking more at grass than anything else. We have some loose grass, so we'll see about that. Over here we do have some growth right down there, flowers there, so we'll cross our fingers. What's really nicely spectacular here, as you can see, is we've got some definite initial growth here on the squash, on the summer squash that's been planted. So these folks are off and running, and that's a fantastic sign. So we'll see where that takes us. Over here, we've got some tiny growth here and here from the other squash planted, so that's good. But the main stuff is really great to see right here, so that's wonderful to note. The edamame is coming in fits and starts, but we do have some growth. You can sort of see there, there, over there, here as well. We've got a couple other ones sort of just starting to sort of poke out here and there too. So my guess is we'll start to see this sort of kick in a bit here more. Seems to be this side over here. I think this was the Envy edamame is sort of kicking in more, but we'll see where the rest takes us. It's all sort of a bit of a shoot. The lemon mint that was planted here, well again, I'm thinking that's more grass than lemon mint, but we'll see. But a really nice success seeing right here, as great to see, are the beans. They've actually taken in very well, as you can sort of see down there. We've got a few right there, some right there, and then again right here, and then there as well. Again, we're going to keep them in the cages for a while yet, a little extra protection, extra, if not perfect, but nonetheless, sort of distract things and keep them away. But basically, all that rain, combined with everything else, seems to have really has done the trick to sort of get some good initial water going. We'll have some sun here for the next few days. It'll be the perfect balance, and as long as we keep to our regular watering schedule after that, things are already looking good. So we'll cross our fingers and see where everything goes. As just a quick general update, you can sort of see that even though we did have all that rain, nothing as much as yet in terms of new growth in the walkway areas. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Definitely when Friday rolls around, there'll be time to scrape things up, but it's all sort of maintained here. But to give a salute to our neighbors, looks like a lot of us are really starting to kick in wonderfully here. These folks have been working on theirs, as you can see, doing just fine. Marvelous stuff over here, with Chard and John's stuff here. A little more fuzzy over here, but it's growth. It is the key thing. Thing that thrills us, no question about that, there is what was just a couple of weeks ago, essentially, still just the uttermost pit of a plot, used and then abandoned. But then Matt and his wife, the couple who have taken over it, have just gone to town. A couple of weeks ago, they were just starting to tear it up, and now, as you can see, they've completely reduced it down. Perfect. You could not ask for better. This is just a 180 degree from what was here, so we can't thank them enough. This will be, between the two of us, we'll be able to keep the weeds down pretty well, I think, so that's marvelous to see. Meanwhile, Ian's plot over here, which I had sort of shot off a little look earlier and all that with the rosemary, doing just fine, so again, we're all looking really good here. And then over here, the folks doing the grapevine, as you can see, the growth is starting to kick in for the new year on his vine, so we'll see where that takes us. Marvelous to see. Over here, well, a little more varied, but we'll see what the new year brings us. Some cleaning out of weeds we'll have to do, but the flowers look good, so it's all good. And again, we've got ours here. So we still have yet to do more maintenance work. We really want to get in more bark. And as you can see, sort of the chaos of a mess right here will always kind of be that, but we got to store our stuff somewhere. But everything else looks pretty fine. We are about to kick into spring. When full, I see what look to be hopefully bees actually over there in those flowers off the way, and that being the case, can't wait for them to start visiting other blossoms, and it'll all be good. So we'll hope to be out here again on Friday, just doing some maintenance, probably trimming a few of these roses, seeing what's going on, and taking things to the next step there. So until that time, we'll talk to you.